my damn music. Cut the music. You know, there are a lot of things I have seen in my day as long as I've been a wrestling fan, but I have never seen anything more crazy, selfish, and of course the term unfair. And that's just the way I feel. Well, I'm going to tell you some things that is unfair about wrestling. Some people get screwed out when they least expect it. Even when they won a match and something happens the following night, things get screwed out. But you know, I mean, life ain't fair. But at the same time, you just feel like, okay, I got fired just for this, just for that, or I've been around that person, blah blah, such and such. Well, let me break it to you, family. This is wrong. And when I mean I'm talking about something is wrong, I am talking about the authority. Yes, I'm talking about the stable of the authority of Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, Seth Rollins, Kane, those fake security guards, and the rest of those, and anybody else who is on the side of the authority. Well, you are not going to believe what has just happened tonight. Okay? Alright, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and tell you how this all breaks down, okay? This started at the Survivor Series, okay? Now, Vince McMahon told Stephanie and Triple H that if their team loses at the Survivor Series, guess what? They are going to be out of power. And Triple H added a stipulation to that match that if Team Cena loses, then every member of Team Cena except John Cena himself would be fired. Makes sense, right? I mean, the stakes can't get any higher than this, right? Well, at the Survivor Series, guess who won that match? Team Cena. Now, despite all the chaos that took place at the Survivor Series, including the betrayal of Team Cena, was the Big Show who decided to join Team Authority, and they joined Team Authority, and after Big Show knocked out John Cena, left Dolph Ziggler alone. And he took out 3 people. Now, the last one was between Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler. It was either who loses power or who's going to lose their jobs. The entire future of the WWE was how it was going to run and depended on the outcome of the match. Sting. That's right, the legendary Sting, a former WCW and TNA World Heavyweight Champion. That's right, I'm talking about Sting. You know, I ain't gonna lie, I really did like Sting for real back in the old days of WCW when he took out the NWO and all that stuff. But anyway, Sting changed the whole match, pulled Dolph Ziggler on top of Seth Rollins, allowing the official to count 1, 2, 3, and that was it. And that was the end. The authority was no longer in power. And Monday night, and I like the way how Monday Night Raw ran on its own flow. Seriously. Monday Night Raw ran on its own flow, and here's why. Because you had the anonymous general manager you had like the anonymous GM on a laptop and Michael Cole saying, "May I have your attention, please? I have just received an email from the anonymous Raw general manager." I like how he says it. Even though like when they had it before on a daily basis, the people was booing him. But I mean, it was just a fact. But at the time, then people started like no longer booing John Cena. They were booing because of the fact how the general manager was making its decisions of its own. But at the same time, it was fun at the same time. At least the general manager, like the anonymous GM, like didn't really screw people out of chances of fighting this person or getting a title shot at this and that. And they even had special guest hosts of Monday Night Raw. Like Daniel Bryan, Hulk Hogan. Now, I am going to tell you this. Just 1 week earlier on Monday, Monday on Monday Night Raw, Edge and Christian, okay? Edge and Christian came out, and they were the guest hosts of Monday Night Raw, okay? So towards the end of Monday Night Raw of last week, they called Seth Rollins to come down here. Then they brought down the security guards, and then Seth Rollins called the Big Show, and then Seth Rollins called John Cena. Okay? Now, Seth Rollins called John Cena, right? And guess what? Guess what? John Cena didn't come down. And then Seth Rollins, he assaulted Christian by using the Money in the Bank briefcase as a weapon. Christian defended himself, but he couldn't really defend himself as much because he had an injured neck that forced him to retire. And that's when Seth Rollins grabbed Edge, not Seth Rollins. Big Show put Edge on the ground, put his face on the Money in the Bank briefcase, and Seth Rollins, he threatened to curb stomp Edge on that Money in the Bank briefcase to have him potentially paralyzed for the rest of his life, and knowing that he's going to be rolling around back at Canada with a wheelchair with his wife and with his kid and his wife. And nobody did not want to see that. John Cena came into the aid of Edge, but Seth Rollins threatened that he was going to paralyze Edge by curb stomping him on the briefcase if John Cena did not bring back the authority. John Cena did not want to bring back the authority. Honest to God, John Cena did not want to bring back the authority, but he did. Seth Rollins used Edge as bait. He used Edge as bait to make John Cena bring back the authority. And he agreed. John Cena agreed to bring back the authority. He didn't want, not because he didn't want to bring back he wanted to bring back the authority. He brought back the authority because of the fact that he was going to paralyze Edge. He said, I bring back the authority so he can save Edge from being paralyzed. That's the real reason why John Cena bring back the authority. Did you see the look on John Cena's face tonight? Seriously, did you see how John Cena looked? I mean, it was crazy. It was really crazy. John Cena did not want to bring back the authority, but he brought back the authority to save Edge's potentially life, to have him to be paralyzed. And I did not want to see that. Now tonight on Monday Night Raw, it was John Cena Appreciation Night. So towards the end of the show, you know what they did? They called 3 people from the members of Team Cena who wanted the Survivor Series. Eric Rowan, Ryback, and the hero who did put the authority out of business, which they did, and that third person was Dolph Ziggler. Okay? It was Dolph Ziggler. But then they was going around here talking about, oh, we should suspend these guys or whatever. I mean, these 3 guys has been in a fight tonight, especially Dolph Ziggler. He lost the Intercontinental Championship to Bad News Barry in a 2 out of 3 falls match after Kane made the additional stipulations just when you thought that Dolph Ziggler was going to walk out the arena with the Intercontinental title. But that wasn't the case. Instead of suspending them, you want to know what the authority did to those 3 people? They fired all 3 of them. They fired all 3 members who were members of Team Cena at the Survivor Series. Eric Rowan, Dolph Ziggler, and Ryback. And to me, honestly, and you calling this, that's what's best for business? Those guys fought for their lives. They fought for the future of their jobs. In my eyes, Team Cena won that match fair and square. And like Vince McMahon said the only person who could rehire them back was John Cena. But John Cena really didn't want to hire them back. And then Stephanie McMahon and Triple H tried to blame John Cena for the actions of why they got fired, because it wasn't fair. And y'all know that was wrong. Let's be honest. That was so wrong. So that's the way I feel about the authority. So you know what? Have fun in 2015, because like John Cena said, it's going to be a tough year dealing with the authority. So I'm out of here.